Hello, this is Cameron Snow with Danomics.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use your flow tools to handle a common task like filtering down your tops to a more relevant set. So let me just go over the scenario here. So let's say that you have a tops database where you have a number of tops that you've imported, maybe some tops that you've made on your own, and maybe you have some tops that you don't really need for your analysis or that aren't really relevant to what you're doing. So in this case, I've got a lot of the tops here that are relevant for my analysis, but I also have some tops here like one called demo, throwaway top that was made here, etc. So this isn't very useful. I don't need those tops. They're only in a small fraction of the wells, and in many cases, they're not very reliable. So what I want to do is I want to remove these tops from my database. Um, Another example of where you may want to do this is a lot of times when we're picking out our stratigraphic framework, we'll pick out many subzones for a sand. So let's say for the Parkman zone here, we had picked out the Parkman A, B, and C sands, or for the Niobrara, we had picked branches A, B, C, and D. So we had all these different benches picked. So maybe maybe that's useful for doing things like a landing zone analysis or for trying to understand subtle thickness changes across the area, but maybe you don't want to do petrophysics separately on all of those zones. So once again, you may want to filter those out so they're not cluttering up the display on your petrophysical analysis. So how do you do that? Well, the way you do that is by using a flow to only select the tops that you would like. And this is very simple. So we start off, we have a points input here, and remember points input are how we get any tabular data into the flow, so that could be things like core data, tops data in this case, or production data, for example. So you just choose it from this drop-down menu, and remember you can just start typing here. We can call this PRB demo, and it filters to the correct options here. So I'm going to select my tops data. In points select, when you bring this in, it'll ask you how you want to do the select, and so I'm going to select by a value here, and you'll need to select the column that you want to do that on. So I'm selecting by formation here, and then you can just select the tops that you want. So I'm going to remove a few of these just so you can see what it looks like as it's partially populated. So here I want to come in and I want to add the Maori, the Muddy, and the Dakota, and I'm going to omit these two throwaway tops that somehow snuck into my project here. And then I'm going to end with a tops output block where I'm going to give it a name like my selected tops. I'll hit run, and this will pop open the jobs menu. This will initialize so that the job can run in the background, and then it will finish. In this case, it runs very quickly. And so now, if I look at the result file, my PRB selected tops, now we're down to a list that only contains the formations that I selected in the flow. So whether or not you have accidentally created some tops that you don't need in your project, or maybe you imported a list of 10, 20, 30, 40 tops, and you really only have half a dozen of those that are relevant petrophysical zones, this is how you would filter those down. So once again, points input to get the tops into the flow, points select to then select the points that you would like, and finally a tops output since we're writing a tops file. It's as easy as that. All right, I hope this video was useful to you, and I hope it demonstrates how you could use a similar technique on other types of data, on other points data sets. If you have any questions, you can always reach us at support@danomics.com. If you're not yet a Danomics subscriber, you can always sign yourself up for a free 30-day trial at www.danomics.com and select the Create Account button on the top right-hand side. All right, thank you, and goodbye.